everyone, so today I'm going to show you guys how to make a beanie inspired by the one worn by Miley Cyrus in her new We Can't Stop music video. For this you are going to need a beanie. I am using a black one, but of course you can use a different color if you want. I got mine off of eBay, I'll list that down below. Some black netting, or if you want to use some different color with a different beanie, that's perfectly fine. I'm also using some cardboard. I'm just sticking that inside of the hat. That way I do not accidentally sew the two sides together. You'll also need a needle, some embroidery floss, preferably that matches the hat. I am using white so you guys can be able to see the stitches well, and then just some scissors to cut as well. I'm using approximately 2 feet of the black netting. Basically you want enough to wrap around your head and then a little bit extra. If you need to trim some off later on, you can. You can always sew it in more as well, which will make it not be as bulky if you have too much. And right now I'm just tying a few quick knots at the end of the embroidery floss. That way it won't go right through the fabric. Those knots are going to stop it. Then you're just going to take your netting material and fold it over. You want the two ends to meet in the center, and then we're just going to stitch them together and to the beanie as well. So for that we're just going to be doing some quick whip stitches, which are pretty simple. You're just going to go right through the beanie, through the netting, and just kind of, I don't know how to explain it, stitch it through. If you're not familiar with sewing, what a whip stitch is instead of like going in and out zigzagging, you're just kind of forming these loops and you just keep on going through. It's really simple. And as you can probably tell, I am not being delicate about my stitches whatsoever. That's because we're actually going to fold up the bottom of the beanie, and you will not be able to see this in the back at all. So now we're just folding the back part of the netting on the top down to meet the bottom. And once we do that, we're just going to be putting some stitches in there. So once again, just some quick little whip stitches all the way through the netting and the beanie, and just try to get all of the layers in there as much as possible. You're just going to do several stitches just to ensure that you have everything all together, and pull it tight each time so you don't have too much thread running around wild. So now we're just going to fold it over again and stitch it again. I just zoomed out here so you could hopefully see it a little bit better, and let's zoom in and do some stitching. So once again, try to go through all of the layers and the beanie as well, of course. This way it's just nice and together, and you don't have extra veil that's going to be popping out anywhere. And like I did say before, this looks kind of like a disastrous mess right now, but since we're just folding up the edges of the beanie on the bottom, you're not going to see it. And if you're afraid of it becoming unfolded, then you can add a couple stitches to the back of like the rim of the beanie. So once again, I'm just folding the veil down again. You want to keep on folding the material down until it is far enough down the back so that the rim is going to cover it. So you don't want any extra veil above the middle part of the fold on the back of the beanie, if that makes sense. And once you are done with that, you can go ahead and just make some knots. By doing that, you just want to make some loops and pull them through, just like regular knots. Make sure you do several of them so it is nice and secured and it's not going to come loose on you. Now you can just go ahead and cut your thread right near the base, remove the cardboard, and start folding the end of the beanie up, and then just go ahead and start tucking the veil kind of into the back if it's popping up anywhere. And there you go. There is your finished beanie inspired by the one worn by Miley Cyrus in her new We Can't Stop music video. And then of course, if you want your veil further down, you can just go ahead and pull it down in the front. I hope you enjoyed this DIY. Remember, new DIYs every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday of July, part of my new DIY July series. And here is the finished look on myself. And I've decided that every Friday in July I am going to be doing a little DIY giveaway. So if you'd like me to make a beanie for you, you can go ahead and enter this giveaway. All of the rules are going to be down below, so check the description for that. And thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. Have a great day. Bye.